Well, everyone, the iPad 11th generation is going to be one of those iPads that's probably going to be coming out hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm actually still pretty shocked that Apple still has not made a successor to the iPad 10th generation. They were kind of doing this thing where like every year, every 2 years, they were making a new iPad. Unfortunately, we are still kind of stuck with the iPad, 10th generation, which is still a great iPad, but that kind of makes us think like what the iPad 11 is going to bring. And I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure the iPad 11 generation is going to be coming out way sooner than a lot of people think. Right now we're in November. I kind of have this weird feeling that in December, before the holidays, Apple could go through and randomly just go through and just drop a new iPad announcement. Maybe in December. If not, a lot more people are kind of suggesting that it could be happening in spring of 2025. So we're pretty much almost there. We're pretty much right around the corner when it comes down to it. Now, on the exterior of this iPad, I wouldn't get your hopes up too much. I do think that this iPad is probably going to look almost exactly the same as something like the iPad 10th generation. I don't really think there's going to be that big of a difference when it comes down to those types of iPads, and they're probably going to look probably more similar than not. So I just want to get that out of the way, that they're both going to look probably the same. The iPad 11 and the 10 are probably going to look more similar than not. The other big thing though here is that when it does actually come down to how these particular devices are going to perform, there's going to be a pretty big performance jump, I'm assuming, from the iPad 10th generation to the iPad 11. So the iPad 10 had a little bit of an older chipset. It had the A14 chip. Well, that was the same chipset as something like an iPhone 12. From what we're seeing, we could be getting either an A17 Pro chip or an A18 chip inside of the iPad 10 generation. That in and of itself is going to be a very big difference. And I wonder, right now the iPad 10 has 4GB of RAM. I wonder if Apple's going to go through and actually increase the amount of RAM inside of that device. I could see Apple going through and potentially actually releasing that phone or that iPad probably with up to 8GB of RAM, maybe. I think that could be a very high likelihood and a thing that Apple could end up doing. I'm going to be very, very kind of interested to see what Apple ends up doing there. But that in and of itself is going to be another interesting, thing to kind of think about with that particular device. And I think from a price tag standpoint, I'm not really too sure what price tag Apple's going to throw at us with this particular device. But if I had to kind of say, maybe with a device like that, it's probably going to be roughly around maybe like a less than $400. Hopefully it's less than, $400. If it's less than $300, that'd be surprising, but it's probably going to be less than $400, maybe $349 or $399. So in terms of that kind of covers it up here for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.